All right. Once again, welcome everyone. My name is Luis Soto. I'm a communications officer here at YABT, and we're going to start today's session called Digital Transformation: How to Get Your Business Online. First of all, we want to thank Usil Ventures for their continued support. Without their support, sessions like this would not be possible. So thank you to them. And we want to remind you guys that this session is taking place in the framework of TIC Americas, our business accelerator. I know that a lot of you guys have already been registered, and we're very happy for that. If there's people here that still haven't registered, you're still in time. We're in the last couple of weeks though, so you're gonna be cutting it a little close, but you can definitely still register. But we know that a lot of you guys are already registered, and that is why you're here. And that is exactly why we make these sessions, so that you guys can really build your documents and have a really solid project to upload to your documents, and then have a really good chance of passing on through the next phase of the competition and eventually winning the competition. So that's what we want for all of you guys. And I know that's why you're here. And without further ado, I'm gonna introduce you guys to our very special guest today, our guest speaker, who is Eduardo Alva. I can just, here it is. Eduardo Alva is the CEO and co-founder of Prodequa, a consulting business in topics such as web development, custom software, app development, web design, etc. He is also a founder of Futuri, a business that helps entrepreneurs to create their own virtual stores, advises them in digital marketing, and provides them with an active community of customers. He is also CTO and co-founder of Reach, a tech company specialized in bringing solutions with AI. He is also mentor in Holt Prize, the Innovation and Social Entrepreneurship Competition in the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Peru. And he has worked with various companies, big companies such as Verizon, Indra, Tecton Labs, and others. And in his education, he has a bachelor's degree in systems engineering from the PUCP Peru. So obviously a very qualified speaker today, a very valuable asset that you guys are gonna learn a lot from. We know how important it is, in this day and age to have a very solid digital presence. And Eduardo is definitely gonna help everyone here with that. One last thing that I also wanted to mention is if you guys have questions, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the session. You can either write it in the chat or you can raise your hand and we will open the microphone up for you. But that will be at the end of the session. Last but not least, follow us in our social media. That's at YBTS on Twitter, at YBTDC on Facebook. You can write us at our email, ticamericas@ybt.net. Any questions, any doubts that you might have. And our websites are www.ybt.net and www.ticamericas.net. Without any further ado, I will leave you guys with our guest speaker today, Eduardo Alva. I hope you guys enjoy this session.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can listen to me. I'm gonna share my screen. Give me a second. Opa. 1 second, please. Here, you can see my slides.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Let's start. So we're gonna talk about digital transformations to startups. So how to get your business online. So what we want to see? First, we want to see what is digital transformation. Does it work the same for every company? Then we want to see the value proposition and the market, the digital assets that's going to help me with the digital transformation. Then we're going to see a summary and comments and questions. So let's start. What is digital transformation and does it work the same for every company? You check on internet, in everywhere actually, you're gonna see different definitions of digital transformation. Here's a concept. The concept is the digital transformation is the process of integrate new technologies in different areas of a company, changing the way it operates and providing value to its customers. So that's the definition. Actually, digital transformation for companies is more than that. You need to change the mindset from your collaborators, the mindset from the people that work with you, and other things. But actually, this apply for a startup. Doesn't you need to ask to you how to apply digital transformation to my startup. The definition says that you need to use digital assets to improve your areas, but like a startup, you don't have work areas, you don't have employees, and actually, probably you don't have customers yet. So how the digital transformations apply to a startup? That's what we are going to talk about today. To do that, first we're going to see the type of business that actually are in the market. First, we have the startups that we are. Second, we have a small business. And third, we have large company. Actually, there are many differences between of them, like number of employees, the incomes for month, for year, and how many years they have. See, but we want to check just three things. First, large companies and small business actually have recurring incomes. They have incomes every month, every year, and they already have it. A startup doesn't have. A startup doesn't have recurring income. A startup need to discover the way how to have this. Second, the large companies and small business have a business model. They have a business model that allows them to have recurring income. Probably companies more, a small business not too much, but they actually have it. A startup doesn't have it, doesn't have a business model, because if not, it will not a startup anymore. What else? The third thing really important is the value proposition. The value proposition is what allows a large company and small business to have a model business and then get recurring income for every month and every year. What happened with the startups? Many startups think they have a value proposition. The half think they have it, the other half they don't know. They have an idea, they think it's a good idea. They ask family, friends if it's a good idea. They say yes, something they say no. And they think they have a good idea to start a startup. And another thing, they have a value proposition, but actually they have it. Because if they have a value proposition, why they don't have a model business, a business model? Sorry. Or why they don't have recurring income? They actually have a good value proposition. So the value proposition is going to help you to determine your business model and then allow you to have recurring income. So it's really important, and we're going to see why. So the digital transformation in a startup must be focused on validate its value proposition with the market. Why? Because it's going to allow you to define your business model and allow you to get recurring income. So this takes us to the second part, value proposition and the market. What is value proposition? If you check on internet, you can see this is like a summary. Is value proposition is how is all your benefits you give to your customers and the reason why they're gonna pay you. Okay, it's how your product or services will benefit to your potential customer and the reason why they're gonna pay you. Who validates if you have a good value proposition? The startups, the founders, so the startup founders, the employees, my family, my friends, who validate if your value proposition is okay. Usually, the founders are who define the initial value proposition for an idea or for a startup, but who actually validate this? The market does. The market is who say, this, you have a good value proposition for me, you don't have it. They are who decide. The market, the people who buy your product, the people who buy your services, is who define if you have a good value proposition. And to explain the importance of this, we want to see a case study. Let's see chicha morada soda. In Peru, I'm from Peru, actually. In Peru, there is a drink, really typical drink. It's called chicha morada. Okay, it's really typical. You check on internet, you will find that. So what happened? One international company tried to make like a soda of this chicha morada. So what they do? They make a micro surveys. They make a product design. They investigate a lot. They create customizable websites, really amazing websites. Actually, remember they create sales campaigns, billboards, invest and business strategy. Actually, they invest probably more than $1 million on all this solution. So what happened? The product was launched at the market just for 3 months. Actually, that after that was discounted. There's no more chichamora soda for nobody. The product was not accepted by the market and was a total fail. What we can learn? Or what's the lesson learned? There's no survey market, there's no business strategy, there's no digital asset or digital transformation that's going to be totally secure. That's not going to ensure you an absolute success of your product. Does not exist. So it don't care if you invest more than $1 million in investigate. If the market don't like it, it just don't work. So that's it. So what we're gonna do with my startup? Well, you need to think you should consider 3 things. First, you need to promote your product and your services as soon as you have your first MVP. So as soon as you have your first MVP, you need to promote it and see what's the market opinion about it. That's really important. That's the first thing you need to consider. Second, you need to analyze the result you obtain by promoting your products. But you need to consider too that it's not because 1 person or 2 persons don't like my product, I need to change it. No, that's not. You need to have many opinions, 100 opinions, 200 opinions about my product, and then start thinking in change. And third, don't be afraid to pivot. Pivot is change your business idea. For example, I start selling clothes, and at the end, I'm finished selling shoes, or I finish selling fruits. I finish selling food. That's not bad, because if you pivot, that demonstrate that you are start discovering what's the real value proposition that your market, that your public is watching, is seeing, what they like it, what is gonna see in your product to buy it to you. So if you pivot, that means that you are going to the right way. You're going to the value proposition that the market wanted. So don't be afraid to pivot. So promote your products, analyze the result of the promotion, and don't be afraid to pivot. Okay, so how we see is really important the value proposition of your product. So don't forget that. So what have now? Digital transformation in a startup must be focused on validating its value proposition by promoting your product to the market as soon as possible on the right way. So digital transformation on the startup to be focused to validate your value proposition, promoting. That's the reason why you need to use these digital assets from the digital transformation, is to validate. It's really important, this part. Please pay attention, because this focus need to be clear in your mind in all the process. If you are a startup, in a company or a little business, it changes, it's different. But in a startup, that is what the focus you have to have. So digital asset. So we want to use digital asset because we are really focused. We know that we need to validate our value proposition, showing our products. So how we want to do? We want to use digital asset as part of the digital transformation. We need to follow these 3 steps. First, we need to see what type of business we are. Second, we need to pick what social media that is our first digital asset I want to recommend. And third, we want to check what kind of website we need. Social networks and website are digital assets I want to recommend for a startup. Actually, there's many more, but those are the principles I recommend for a startup based on my experience. And actually, it works. So, first, type of business. First, you need to define what kind of business you are. You are a B2B business. Is when you sell your services or products to companies. For example, Prodequa, we sell software to companies. Or you are a B2C business. Is when you offer service or products to consumers. For example, if I sell shoes, I sell to a consumer, to the final person. So that's the difference. You sell to companies, you are B2B, or you sell to customers. And this is really important because it's going to help you to define what social media and what kind of website you're going to use. So second, why is important the social media? Why this digital asset is so important more than another ones? Why? Because a social network is going to give you visibility. Half of the world have 1 or 2 social networks, so they're going to find you. You can have direct communication, get in touch every day, actually, or all the time. You're going to have with social media direct communication. You can listen to them, you can answer their questions, okay, clearing their doubts, and register all the comments. Spread content. You're going to show information updated about your company, about your idea, about your startup, and they're going to be there. So anytime that somebody want to see something of you, is going to check you in your social media and see what do you post. 4 is measure your audience. More than that is you can analyze what people say, what people comment, what's people opinion, what they like, what they don't like. So it's not what your audience like, what your audience don't like. Okay, that's why it's really important, this social network. That is the first digital asset I really recommend. The second one, or the third step, but the second digital asset is the websites. Actually, there's many startups, at least in Latin America, that just work with the first asset, just work with the social media. Actually, they sell products and also services just with the social media through bank applications and other stuff. But have a website is really important. Actually, it's going to give you a digital presence, and that is really good because you're going to provide more security to your customers or to your potential customers. In a website, you can show information about you, you can show information about your company, you can be more detailed with you can put more details, more details about your product, about your services. You can explain very well. In the social media, you can do that because you don't have too much space to do it. You need to put posts all the time, but in the website you have more space to do that. So you can be available to bring this information 20 hours per day every week. So your information is going to be available all the time. So your potential customers can check your information all the time. You can be a national and international outreach. So your website don't have limits. Everyone on the world can see or can find your website and see information about your product or services. So maybe you can get a new customer from another country and you don't know. That's a possibility. So in the next one is internet sales opportunities. Have a website allow you to have a new internet, a new channel of sales. You can sell by internet, like an e-commerce. Actually, if you have a physical store, now you can sell through internet too, through a website. Okay. Let's see. So with all these 3 steps we see before, we can make this table that is gonna be really useful for all of you. So we have type of business, social networks, and websites. So first we have one type of business that is business to customer, B2C. Okay, when you sell products. Okay, so for this kind of business, you have Facebook, you can use Instagram, you can use Pinterest, you can use YouTube, you can use TikTok, and you can use WhatsApp. Actually, you can use Snapchat and other, but I'm just gonna pick you Facebook and Instagram. That's the best you can use to start. Because if you have, it gonna depends on how much time you have to invest in your startup. If you don't have so much time, so focus just on 2, or probably just focus on 1. That's really important. If you are a type of business, a business to business, you offer a services to a companies, use LinkedIn, and especially investigate more about social selling with LinkedIn. Why? LinkedIn is a really good social network to meet with leaders on companies, to sell service to companies. Not just startups use it, companies use it. Actually, Prodequa use it to make really big deals. It's a really strong social network, and you should use it. It's in case you're going business to business. Not for the website. For the website, you need to separate if you're gonna sell a service or a product. If you're gonna sell a service, you can use Wix, that is like a drag and drop structure. You can make your own websites. It's really easy actually. I wanna put your link to so you can see the tutorial. And you have Google site that is more simple and more limited than Wix actually, and you don't have to pay. There's a third option that is WordPress. WordPress is the most tool used to create website on the world. Has a lot of popularity. More than 30% of the world use WordPress to make their websites. There's no problem with it. The thing is that you need to have a little more knowledge about tech to start using WordPress. Okay, so this is the tools you can use to, digital assets you can use to develop your website if you sell services. Now, what happens if you sell products? If you sell products, you can use Shopify. That is actually a little similar like Wix. You can drag and drop to make your e-commerce. You have to pay monthly for that. There's Futuri. There's a new option that actually you can drag and drop. There's a structure already defined. You just need to upload your products, but you want to have your own website. And then you have WooCommerce on PrestaShop. Like WordPress, to sell products, WooCommerce and PrestaShop are the more popular on the world. But you need to invest more time because those are a little teach. So you need to invest more time to learn about them. For all of them, for all these website tools, I'm gonna put you a link from YouTube so you can check and learn how to do it. You don't need to pay to somebody do it for you. You actually can do it by yourself. You don't need to have a large tech knowledge to do that. Okay, so this table is gonna be for you. You can check all the time. You can see what kind of, I will have a new idea. Okay, what social media I need to do, what social networks I need to do, what website I have to do, and that's it. No? So let's see a study case. Let's see Shiny.p. Shiny.p is a startup from two girls here in Peru. They have this phrase that says, "Shine with your online." Their value proposition is actually they pick the most selected and ideal accessories for you. They are expert on that, and they do it for you. They actually do it for you, and they're getting a good demand. They told me, because I mentored them, I was mentoring them, they actually created the mark like 3-4 years ago, but they don't use it. So since the pandemic started, or since 4-5 months ago, actually they start moving this mark. Sometimes it's necessary to make that you start a startup. And this case was actually they're going good. Oh, so let's see what they do. What's the type of business of Shiny? Shiny is a B2C business. Okay, they decide go with social networks like Facebook and Instagram, and they decide make their website with Futuri. So we can check. Let's see how they're going with the social media Facebook. Can you confirm me, please? You can see my screen. Luis, please. You can see my screen, right? Or somebody?
Hi, Eduardo. Yes, we can watch your screen. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So this is the social media Facebook from Shiny. They actually have more than 1,000 followers. They are just getting back. They post their products. They post value information, some topics, and peculiar information. So they are moving. They are getting information to their customers. They have Instagram too. They don't have too many followers, but they actually put products and good information. So the important thing is that they are moving. And this is how all the startups should start, and all the companies start to. And finally, they have a website. This website is Shiny. They have a banner. They have their products. They have the way how they want to buy it. They have a form information about them. They have a button of WhatsApp that is really important because they can contact to ask any question. And actually, you can buy their product, right? So going back to the presentation, what happened with Shiny? So Shiny have a social media. Shiny has a website. Shiny is moving. Shiny is showing their products with the digital assets they have. Shiny complete the digital transformation for a startup? Yes, in a certain way. Why? Because they are just starting. What it means? So they have a social media, they have a website, they have active, they are on internet. People can see them, or people can see Shiny on the internet. The public, the audience can see them on the internet. They can find them. They have presence. They have digital presence. So what they are doing now, they are validating now their value proposition. Shiny is a part-time job from a little startup from these two girls, and they are validating the value proposition before they're going with all the power to them, to that. So they have active digital assets. They're gonna help you to validate this, and they are start moving. So they start really well. So to summarize in this presentation, we're gonna talk about first, the digital transformation in a startup must be focused on validating its value proposition, promoting your product. By having digital assets like social networks and website, you need to have digital assets like social networks and websites. You can manage the present. You can analyze your value. It promote your products. what it means. So in the first step, I say the digital transformation should be focused in show your products and promote your products to know what the public to know what the audience think. And the second point is, to do that, you need to use this digital asset. In this case, I recommend social network and websites. Okay, these two is the best way you can do it to promote it and get that information. So when you promote it, when you have your website, you have your social network, you can say, okay, I have digital presence. I already make my digital transformation. But that is just the beginning. So have your social network promoting your products, have a website where people can find me is just the beginning. Because if you have a social network or you have a website, you promote your products, is you are just starting to, like you, there's many startups that are going to do the same thing. They're going to have social media, websites. They're going to use different digital assets to promote their products. What you have to do, what's the next? That's why I'm saying here, this is just the beginning. Why? Because the market is so big, really big, that you should focus all your efforts in the ensure your digital assets, your website or your social media, to the right audience. So there's many. The market is so big, you need to focus. Okay, I wanna sell shoes. Okay, I wanna promote my website. I wanna promote my social network just to people that like shoes, to see what's their opinion, to validate my value proposition. That's really important. And this is what we call digital marketing strategies. In digital marketing strategies, you can use social networks, you can use website, you can use blogs, you can use Google Ads, and different digital assets that actually you can have to pay. But this is another topic. But that is going to be the next step. You already do this digital transformation like a startup. You already have your website, you already have your social media. This is going to be the next step. And it's really important to start with the digital marketing strategies. You at least have one digital asset, that you have at least one digital asset, and don't lose the focus. The focus is really important. The focus is you have to focus in validate your value proposition. Just in that way, you can start your model business and getting recurring incomes. Okay, so I want to show you one video. It's really important, so you can keep in mind with the idea I just say. This is like a startup. They have an idea. She think I'm gonna change the world. Actually, everyone think that. I think she thinks start a unicorn. I think it's the best. Even people say that, hey, relax. Things are not like what they think. So even you investigate, even you have a business plan, mentoring, you have a good coach, a good prototype, at this place actually, boom, the market can change everything. The market can change everything. What you say, what you think. Because the market always has the last word. The market is gonna say, yeah, I don't like it, I don't like it. The market don't care if you invest all your time or a lot of time investigate. The market is gonna say, okay, I don't like your product, so what else do you have? So that is why it's really important you never lose the focus to keep validating your idea, promoting your products. Even the large companies do that. Every certain time they do that. Every year they check the value proposition and change actually. So if the large company does, so that's why you, like a startup, need to focus first. Validate your value proposition. Use the digital transformation for that. Use your digital assets for that. That's the process of the digital transformation on the startups. It's what I see in different startups, and it's what I see that it works for the different startups. So I think that's gonna be all. Thank you so much. I hope you can understand everything I say, and I can see your comments or questions, and this is some of my data information.
Eduardo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that conference, that presentation. I'm gonna remind everyone that if you have any questions, you can write in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we'll open up the microphone for you. I'm actually gonna start this Q&A session. I had a really quick question that I wanted to ask you, and it's about how do I know, it's about content. And how do I know that my digital plan or digital strategy, for example, Facebook, let's say that I'm using Facebook. How do I know that that's actually working? What I'm posting is actually, being effective? And how do I know where I need to change a little? Do I need to be looking at analytics and numbers, or how do I know that it's actually working, for example, in Facebook?
For example, okay. All the digital strategy of marketing, for example, on Facebook, Instagram, or any social media, have an objective. For example, if you start posting, you need to determine what is your objective. So I'm gonna analyze from 100 views, or actually there's many more, how they react. If they're not reacting really good, I change my audience. I change, because in Facebook, when you're posting, if you pay, you can change the audience. Actually, right? You can define 3 publics that you're gonna show, you're gonna promote your post. So when you start, before you start posting or putting money to, for example, Facebook ads, you need to determine which is going to be your objective and how much you want to wait until you see this. You want to decide change the audience. Regularly, it's like when you get more than 200, 300 people that see your post, and if you don't see good signals, you don't see any reactions, you start changing. But who is going to define that? It's going to be, to define that, I need to see what product you're going to sell, or if it's a services, what is the audience you're going to publish your information. Actually, you need to at least define 3 kinds of audience, at least 3, because you need to have the possibility to move. Actually, in companies, they have like 5 persons that are checking that all the time, and they check every day, probably 2 times per day, because they want to have the best improvement to the invest they are doing. For example, for little cents, they start changing. Oh, this post is cost 3 cents, 4 cents. Oh, you need to change it because it have to cost just 1 cent. Even if they invest, actually, I was working with a company, they invest like $7,000 for a month, and for cents of dollars, they change the audience because they need to get the most improvement.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eduardo. Here in the chat, we have a question from Samantha. She writes, "Hi, Eduardo. Do you recommend me to hire someone to manage and create my digital presence? Or do you think it's possible to do it myself now that we have all these new easy-to-use tools?" And she also asks, "Can you show us how to use Google Analytics?" Thank you so much for that question, Samantha.
Okay. Thank you so much for your question. Yeah, actually, there's a tutorial to you how to use Google Analytics. It's really easy. You don't need to pay nobody. Use Google Analytics. It's really easy. If you mean digital presence, look, to create your social media, actually, there's many tutorials too that is really easy. I don't recommend you hire somebody to create a new to create your social media or your your website. If you're gonna sell products or services, use the tools that already exist. Go to check videos on YouTube. Check there's actually webinars. I'm sure the YABT have other webinars on how to create your own websites, how to create your social media. Actually, I can, at the end of the presentation, I can send you some links where you can check, because it's really easy. You need to try by yourself. Why is this so important, or why I recommend? Because probably many agencies are going to say, hey, I can do it for you. Pay to me. Why I recommend you need to learn about this? Because if you are a CEO, founder of your company, and you pay somebody once to do it, you need to do it if they are doing well or not. What happens is they are making a social media strategy bad and they don't have results, and actually the audience don't like them. How you know it is good or not? When you hire somebody to make your social media strategy or your website, you need to know what this company gonna do. It's really important. You can do it by yourself. There's actually, it's not too complicated to start. It's not gonna be perfect, but you're gonna learn and you're gonna get the experience. So when you get to your limit, I say, oh, I can do it more because I wanna do a really nice customized website. I need to hire somebody. Okay, you can do it, but you know the basics about your website. You know the basic about your social media. Actually, you should start with social media. It's more easy than a website, and everyone can do it. Okay, you can connect your social media or your website with Google Analytics, and Google Analytics is really simple. You don't need to know many things about tech to understand that. You can check just 1-2 titles and you will see. It's really simple. Just when you log in Google Analytics, they're gonna give you one line that you can put it in your social media, you can put it in your website, and then you're gonna see all the analytics. Do it by yourself. There is my email, and you can write me an email, and I can send you links where you can see and you can check it. Actually, Luis, that question of Samantha is really important because in Prodequa or in Futuri, the another company, we see that many people ask us if they want to do, if they need to hire or not somebody to make their website or to learn about social media. But all the information on internet, actually there is all the information. The problem is that there's too much information that is really disorganized. So you can find really fast what you think because you need to search a lot. And there's a problem that we are actually working with another company called Futuri to organize all this information on the internet so people can learn more fast. But what I recommend to all the entrepreneurs actually is learn by yourself first, because if not, when you hire somebody, you will not be sure if they are doing good or not. So do it by yourself first. Try it. It's really important.
Thank you, Eduardo. Excuse me. I don't know if it would be too much to ask to leave in the chat a link to one of the tutorials to use Google Analytics, just so that she can have that resource. I don't know if you could put it in the chat.
Oh, I need to stop sharing my screen. You can give me one or 2 seconds. Well,
Yes,
I want to
course.
send it my presentation. I can attach the links there. It's okay?
Perfect. Yes, if you can just put the links in the chat, just so that everyone can see them, that would be great. And Eduardo, I'm just going to ask you one last question so we can close with this one. Well, just really quick while you do that. And that would be like, what 3 tips or advice do you think would be the most important to give these young entrepreneurs when they're talking about digital presence? Like, what's the most important advice that you think you could give them?
Okay, so the 3 more thing. Actually, there's many actually, but the first one is I always want to say, promote your product. Even if you don't have a digital asset, even if you don't have a social media or a website, you have your product in physical, actually, or in a PPT or in a PDF, show, expose, promote it. That's the first one. Promote your product. It's really important. And the second one is don't promote it. So, okay, I promote it, but all the opinions, all the recommendations, save it, record them, put it in an Excel, and analyze them to see what really is happening. Don't guess. Don't think, oh, okay, 1, 2, 3% say it's okay. No. My first tip is promote your product, and second is analyze with conscience all the results. If you don't get 50 opinions, 100 opinions, don't guess. Don't think that you're gonna change something in your product. Don't do that. Analyze as a put your a goal. I'm gonna have 100 opinions to start thinking, change my idea, to really decide what we're gonna do. So first, promote your product, even if you don't have a digital asset. Second, take note of all the comments in an Excel. Be organized. Be really organized. Okay. And third, start learning how to make a social media or website. Okay, is the third opinion. Actually, all this presentation, this is the third one, because you don't need to actually digital assets to start doing your startup. It's good, but the third thing is start checking, because on the future, everyone is going to know how to make a website or social media. That's the future. Actually, that's the future. Everyone should know how to do it, how to use, and how to use all the tools. So it's going to be basic. So but start doing now, start learning now. So that's really all the three advice I can give it to you.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. We're actually going to close the Q&A session now with that. Before we leave, I'm going to tell everyone there will be a quick survey that will appear on your screen very soon. We would really like if you guys could just fill that up really quickly. It's very useful for us. So thank you very much for that. Meanwhile, Eduardo, if you can just drop the links that you had mentioned in the chat.
Yes.
Just so that
I'm gonna let the links. I need to check.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Please.
Perfect. Well, while you do that, I'm just gonna start closing the session. First of all, by thanking you, Eduardo. Thank you so much for coming in here and sharing your knowledge, your thoughts with us, with the young entrepreneurs. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation. To all the young entrepreneurs, thank you so much for being here. Remember, guys, everyone who is already registered in TIC Americas, don't forget to upload your documents, so you can really have a good chance at winning the competition and actually going on through the next phases, which will come very, very soon. That's the purpose of these sessions. So really take advantage of them. Thank you so much for being here. Eduardo, thank you so much for dropping the links there in the chat for everyone that's interested.
Yeah.
Eduardo,
I'm gonna share my email in case you wanna ask me more. I can send you more links. I found this is really good tutorial, but it's paying. It's $10 actually, but it's really good. Actually, I take it before.
Perfect. Eduardo, I don't know if you have any last words for the young entrepreneurs before we
Yes, please. Never give up. Always promote your idea, and don't be scared to pivot. That's really, really, really nice. The idea to pivot idea. Actually, Prodequa is the 5 pivot I have it. It's not my first idea or not my first startup. So what can I say? No, never give up. And promote your product. That's the most important thing. Promote, and don't be ashamed. Share your ideas. Nobody's going to copy your idea. I always listen that if you are really entrepreneur, you're always doing something. And a real entrepreneur is not going to change what he's doing because he listens to your idea. He's going to be doing something. So don't be worried to share your idea. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, and see you on the next occasion.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. Yeah, just in the line of what Eduardo was saying, guys, don't give up, keep working. Your idea is good. We at YABT, we're here to help you. We're here to support you, and you will always have us. You will have these boot camps and the TIC Americas competition. So remember, guys, register, upload your documents, and win the competition because you can do it. We'll see you guys on the next session, and thank you so much, everyone.